guys, it's Katie with Burbs and Blooms, and today I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can completely empty out your compost bin and get that compost working for you over the winter, leaving you with a completely empty bin to start fresh with all the fall goodies like leaves and pumpkins. I have lots of composting tips and tricks, so please subscribe to my channel, click like, thumbs up, and also share this video. That helps me out so much. Okay, let's go outside. So sometimes you really want finished compost, and the way you're going to do that is by sifting. I have 2 things that I use. I kind of interchange them. The first one is this sifting screen. This is a frame that came with an appliance, and I just stapled this mesh on the back called hardware cloth. The other method that I use is just an old milk crate. So guys, this pile has been going since last fall. I take some out now and then. I add constantly, but for the most part, I start a new pile every fall. So you can see what's left in here are some pretty good sized chunks. And then I just take this and I just dump it right back in. So let me show you real quick how I use the screen. Same concept. Just shake it back and forth. Sometimes I spend a little more time breaking up the clumps. Sometimes I don't worry about it. And I might toss all of these back in the bin. So you can see this is just a couple of scoops full of compost from the bin that has been sifted, and it's just this beautiful soft black material. So sometimes I don't really care too much about it being super fine and finished, and in those cases I typically just use my screen or my milk crate as a way to sort of sort just the largest pieces. So I'm going to spread out my compost on here. Look for anything particularly big. This all looks really good, but if there was something really large in here, I just pick it up by hand, toss it back in, and then instead of pushing it through the screen, I just dump it right in. So that's sort of the slightly easier method, but you don't get as finely sifted compost from that method. Okay, so here's the most easy, efficient way to use up your compost that I promised you. Doesn't matter how finished it is, how unfinished it is, you can use all of the compost in your bin this way so fast. So all you do is you dig a trench or a hole, as I did here. This is about, I don't know, maybe 10 inches deep. I did it in one of my raised veggie planters. You could easily do it in one of your garden beds as well. So you just dig a hole, scoop out whatever you've got. You can see here, there's a completely unfinished apple right on top. You just simply put it into the trench or the hole. You're just burying your half-finished compost. And it will continue to break down over the winter in exactly the place where you need it most. There's a bunch of grass in there. Okay. Once you've got a little bit in there, so you can see there's a tomato or something, you just cover it back up, soil, and forget it all winter long. Okay. You can use up your entire compost bin that way, get it into all the right spots in the garden. No tilling, no worries. From sifting out perfectly finished compost, like we did over here, to using partially finished compost as a top dressing in your garden beds, or even completely burying unfinished compost, it'll all work for you over the winter, and you'll be ready to go come spring. So now you have 3 different ways that you can use up your entire fall compost bin so that you have a nice empty bin completely ready to fill with leaves and funky slimy pumpkins and all the good stuff that fall has to offer. So remember, fall leaves are considered browns. And you'll want to balance those out with plenty of greens. So if browns and greens sounds a little bit foreign to you, go check out my other Composting for Beginners video so that you have all the fundamentals under your belt. Also, down below, I have a really handy dandy cheat sheet that you can print out, and it gives you a list of greens and browns. It also gives you some things to avoid with your compost bin, unless you want to see the same things floating around there for years at a time, and a couple of frequently asked questions as well. Alright, so I'm going to continue emptying out my compost bins. If you liked this video, if it was helpful at all, please click like down below. Please always feel free to share. That helps me out so much, knowing that people are enjoying this content, knowing that I should make more of it. And also don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.